Hey friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. Is amazing fact for you guys. Since the NFL went to a 16-game season, no team starting off 3-5 clinched the division in week 14 or by week 14. Nobody. The Dallas Cowboys have the opportunity to do just that. It's kind of amazing how this team has changed completely from the beginning of the season. You got to credit a lot of that, or maybe a hell of a lot of that, to the addition of Amari Cooper. What you have to do in life is you have to take your opportunities and make the most of them. Amari Cooper was in a bad situation, in a bad place with a bunch of bad people with the Raiders. And getting here, he took this opportunity to reinvent himself and got that drive and that fire back. Sometimes in life, the things you plan for don't work out the way you want them to. Sometimes the big things that happen to you happen by accident, or maybe weren't supposed to happen. One of the things that I said was a problem for the Dallas Cowboys was the tight end position. Tight end has become as important as wide receiver. Tight end is the security blanket. He's the guy that when the play is breaking down, he's tall, he's got a big body, he can muscle the ball around. And when you look at our Super Bowl teams from last year, both of those teams were led by their tight end. Zach Ertz for the Eagles, and of course Gronk for New England. Big bodies, big targets. And when there's a blitz or a pass rush, you know where that guy's going to be. I can dump it off. Tonight we did a roundtable on Cowboys experience. Shout out to them because they know how to give you the treatment in Dallas. I had Law Nation and Big Game James. I just met Big Game for the first time this past weekend. And we were having a discussion. And it reminded me about Blake Jarwin. Blake Jarwin only had 14 catches on the season. But he had 7 for 56 yards this past game. He was the outlet guy, a la, can we say Jason Wittenash? He got his opportunity because Golf Swam got hurt. He played a little bit in the beginning of the season, but you kind of were like, Blake Jarwin. But he finally had a breakout game. And that actually bodes well, and a lot of that may be because of the attention that Amari Cooper gets. So you have to understand, it doesn't matter what position you are. The defensive line is better because of DeMarcus Lawrence. Because you have to put so much focus on that guy, that means you can't put as much attention on this guy. So you may not see great numbers out of this guy, but you'll see everybody across the board get better. So with Amari Cooper being there, you already had Zeke Elliott, who gathered attention, who forced teams to put 8, 9 men in the box. That's when the other guys get better. But now that you got Zeke and you got Amari, It gives opportunities for guys like Blake to get open, to get opportunities. It'll give chances for Michael Gallup, and Dak's got to be better at hitting on the deep ball. But the amazing thing about what's going on with this team right now, forget about what you keep hearing. It amazes me because every time they say something that the Cowboys can't do, they do it. And then they change it up to something else. We heard Dink and Dunk Dak. What was the other term that we heard? Check down Charlie. Yeah, Dak's a check down Charlie. But now that he's got some talent out there, you see he's going deep. And contrary to what you guys believe, Dak he's average on the deep ball. As many times as you guys thought that he just can't hit anybody, he's league average. Right in the middle. In his third year. And people keep saying, well, the Cowboys, they're going to be one and done. They stink. But I want you to think about something here for a moment. They say we can't compete with the Rams. We can't compete with the New Orleans. And, of course, we did beat New Orleans a couple weeks ago. Anything can happen in the playoffs. And are you sure we can't beat the Rams? The Rams are essentially the same team we played last year that we should have won, but we ended up having a game-changing fumble deep in our territory when we were way up that kind of let them back into the game and gave them some momentum. During our 5-game win streak, of course, the Saints are 4-1, but the Rams, they're 3-2. They lost to two teams that have strong defenses. Of course, the Bears this past week, and Seattle, whose defense has come a long ways. Their defense that will punch you in the mouth. So are you sure that we don't have a chance in the playoffs? This team has evolved tremendously. I can't guarantee a win. But I'm not going to say that we don't have any chance. Because once you get into the playoffs, all bets are off. And when I look back, and I hate to use the Giants, God, but I think about those Giants teams. Yeah, Eli Manning got a Super Bowl MVP and this, that, and the other. The Manningham catch right off the guy's helmet and everything else and stuff. You know, he did make some plays there. But it wasn't Eli Manning that got him to the Super Bowls and got him them. It was that defensive pass rush. That defensive pass rush that punched Tom Brady in the mouth. They didn't have the best of corners out there. None of the guys that were there are going to be Hall of Famers. But that pass rush did the trick. They were underdogs. They weren't 12, 13 win teams. One year they were a wild card that snuck in and came in and kicked our ass on the way to kicking the New England Patriots' ass. It's not always the team with the best record that makes it to the Super Bowl. In fact, more times than not, they're not the ones that go. It's the team that gets hot at the right time and the team that gets the opportunities. We play the Colts on Sunday. Some people say, the Cowboys may let down. This is a trap game. But I feel like this team, who started off in such despair, now that they got a taste of success, a taste of winning, they want more. And I believe they're going to work even harder to achieve that. Yeah. Sometimes you only get one chance and opportunity. So when you do, you best damn sight make the most of it. Cowboys, that's you guys. You got the shot, you got the opportunity. I'm Mark Holmes. And it's time to turn off the lights, guys. The party's over. Finish this last little bit. I'll see you guys in the morning.